On August 21st, 1981, Brian Robertson, age 8, was struck by a car in front of his house. Brian's parents, Bert and Sharon Robertson, then began a vigil whose outcome would change their lives forever. Brian's accident happened several years ago. Since that time, Bert Robertson has been traveling to schools, telling other kids what happened to his son.
On August 21st, 1981, someone decided to go out for a pack of cigarettes and drive past my house. And someone decided to do that while they were intoxicated. I was delivering soccer balls that day to, I ran the soccer league on Kent Island at the time, and I was delivering equipment, and I was away from the house. And Andy, my older boy, and I went out to deliver this equipment. Brian did not want to come with me. He was 8 years old. I went to Downey's to bring home some milkshakes for the family as kind of a treat, and a man ran into Downey's and grabbed me and threw me in the car without saying a word and drove me home. And the closer I got to my house, the closer I realized that something had happened desperately wrong in our house. Who was it? I had to think. And I knew that it was Brian. And then I had to wait for that phone call from the hospital. That phone call that was going to tell me if he's alive or dead. And it came. And they said, "Mr. Robertson," and I said, "Yes." They said, "Can you get here right away?" And I said, "It'll take me about 45 minutes. And they said, "Take your time." They were telling me that he was dead. We went up to the hospital, and a nurse greeted us at the door, and then a doctor did. And this doctor was angry because he told me that little children are not supposed to die. Here's a person that you think sees death day in and day out and gets used to it, but they don't get used to it. They see it. I went back to Brian and I held him. He was on a table and he was wrapped in white and his eyes were partially opened, and that's what you remembered about Brian. His eyes were black like onyx. And that's what you saw when you looked at him, is his eyes. And his eyes were partially open, and he went to close them, and I asked him not to, because I wanted to look in his eyes one more time, because I knew I would never be able to again, forever. Death is final. It's not something like on TV. They don't come back the following week. It's over, it's finished. You never get a chance to say, "I love you" one more time. It's done. Then I found out what had happened in that accident. A man who had no driver's license, had no car insurance, had been arrested previously for drunk driving, had been in an accident that had made a man a paraplegic, paralyzed from the waist down. He had been warned twice by a passenger in the car to look out for the little boy, and he didn't. He crossed the road, he went on the wrong side of the road, he hit my boy at the end of our driveway. He drug him 125 feet, and what finally stopped the car was my son's body and the bicycle. And his only concern was to find a place to urinate in front of my wife and neighbors.